let's see, the SIO boards, well, hopefully production boards are in production. Hopefully they'll be here
Oh,
by this next weekend.
awesome, awesome.
So see if it
Oh, let me know when
works.
Which
you're
style
ready.
boards were
Ready to.
that?
Hmm?
Which style boards were that?
It's the MITS SIO.
Let me grab one of the prototypes out of my system so that people can see it.
Before the two SIO, the ones that work with like the ACRs and
Okay, so that's
the
not the one you
original.
had. I think I got from you a while back,
Yeah, that'd be a
right?
two SIO.
88. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I just got my FDC Plus from Mike, and then I got your ESP32.
Uh-huh.
So I was thinking about hooking my. I got to dig out my 8800B because I like to use that more than the 8800. And then I got the Altair disc, and I was gonna try to hook that up to it and everything up. So see how that goes. But I'm a little bit more minor than you guys are talking maximum here. So that's just minor stuff. But I was trying to just play around with my Altair clone, the emulator, but I'm
Yeah.
having a hard time. What terminal would you? I mean, online terminal would you use? I hooked up an online terminal and I plugged it in, and it gave me access denied like a gazillion times. I try to look up
I just
the
use TerraTerm on my PC.
Mm.
what is it?
TerraTerm. You can download that, and it's a
Teraterm
little app that runs
for
on your
Mac? Because
PC.
I'm having pro.
Okay, for Mac, you don't use, there's no
Okay,
Teraterm for Mac. I've been using, for my terminal emulation, I've got about four of them. The one I'm using right now is called ZOC9, ZOC9. It's not free, but it is amazing. It emulates like almost every terminal I've ever heard of. It's really cool. There's another
Zoc
program
Nine
called ZOC,
COC.
Yeah, ZOC9. There's also
Okay,
a serial program called Serial that's
Yeah.
much simpler, and I really like that. Um,
okay,
Yeah. That's even on the Unix flavors,
right,
Linux
but
instead.
the
It's
reason
stereo.
I've been going to ZOC9 is when you look at I mean, it can emulate old televideos, all the DEC stuff, IBM terminals, the 3270s. I mean, it's all in there. It's
Yeah.
You got a
anyway.
link
So,
to that one?
huh?
Do you have a link to get to that one?
Not on the top of my head. I have to go look for it. But yeah, Zoc 9. I don't know if it's outside the Mac world. It's one I found for Mac. 'Cause remember,
okay.
some of us are working on Macs. Anyway, so this is the SIO board, which is not focusing, of course, but anyway,
And that's the new version or the
that's
not
the
the SIO, not the two
that's
SIO.
the SIO. And
Okay,
then, hang on a sec.
The
so I got it.
SIO is being
That
designed for
right,
the
that's the two SIO.
cassette.
Yeah, I got that one. That one I have. Yeah,
So that's the
Yeah.
two SIO that Patrick's had out for a while.
yeah.
This is a replica of the. It's going to focus, not going to focus. Oh well. This is a replica of the SIO, one of the prototypes here, because I've been testing them for Patrick, that is just going into
Okay.
production. And this is a replica of the original 88 SIO board, which is a
That's right.
single with a really old UART on it that has its own quirky characteristics.
And it was designed so that you could add the cassette interface for Mike
Right.
Douglas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That,
You
Oh,
can
I
just
perfect.
actually.
it literally you can put from Mike's little cassette board. You can just put a 14-pin ribbon cable in and connect it directly to the cassette board and drive a cassette player, which is how the other
Nice.
prototype is currently
I gotta
hooked up
remember to
in
reach
this.
out to him for a couple boards.
Yeah, but yeah, this
More
thing
on
works.
that.
I found some idiosyncrasies with it, which depending on which UART you use, I discovered a weird, really tiny idiosyncrasy between the original COM2502 that Altair used, that MITS used, and the slightly more modern. What's the other one we've been using? Anyway, the more modern one, and the difference is the way they come up at power on.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so they both load random data into the register, the read register, basically. But the 2502 and the what is the other one? This S anyway. they set the flag differently. So one sets the flag low for data available, and the other one sets the flag high. And so the newer chips tell the system there's data waiting for you, which means that the software goes out and reads it, and it's garbage, and it breaks a lot of the potential loads. It's been quite interesting. But if you put the original,
how do you change the flag then for it?
well, you can't. It's in the hardware. It's a minor hardware difference in the UARTs. And so what that means is, depending on how your software works, if it tries to read something as soon as it powers up, it will get bogus data because it's reading data that's not really data. It's just that the flag's set wrong at power up. Took me a long time to figure out what was going on there, believe me.
Yeah. Patrick, how are you doing any assembly for it, or your bare board, or what are you doing?
I mean, are they coming assembled?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. The previous ones, you only once in a while did you sell the bare board. I think I had a couple of those,
Yeah.
but most of them I got assembled from you. How are you doing this board? What
This
are you
one's
planning?
fully assembled or bare board.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll
So-
take the fully assembled ones.
Yeah. Yeah, so I got I ordered-
practice on that smaller stuff with soldering. You know, I got to practice. on
That's the way to do
smaller
it.
stuff, so.
Yeah.
I ordered 3 assembled and 2 bare boards. So I mean, if they work, I'll probably order like 10. And
Yeah, it's a small.
They're gonna
small
work.
batches
I got
and
faith.
say-
I hope so.
The prototypes work really well. I mean, yeah, the very first prototype has a few bits of wire on the back. The second one has been pretty much flawless. I haven't seen any issues with it.
Good.
Cool.
Yeah,
You can plug those. You could plug that into like the 88 my 8800B and have no problems, right? I mean,
Yep.
should be fine, right? Better than the actual cards.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's less likely you're going to let out the magic smoke.
Yeah. Well, that's my intention. Yeah. So with that, just to have some fun, because you guys are a little bit ahead of me on things, but I kind of want to get to that point and understand and program, do some stuff. I just got to get to that point. So.
Yeah. And if you just want to tinker with how it feels to use, just use the new sim because it is awesome. Yeah, Patrick's new sim is a great way, and also lets you tinker. And this is what I'm really having fun with. Lets you tinker with all those other systems and boards that you can't get because nobody's selling them. I mean,
which sim is that?
The Altair sim that Patrick's working on right now.
Yeah. Do you have a?
Oh,
do you have
yeah,
a-
definitely. Yeah. All right.
Does anybody have a Cromemco or the CompuPro? Who makes a DAZZLER? Cromemco.
I have a DAZZLER.
Cromemco.
Does anyone have a D7A with joysticks?
I got the D78 boards, but I don't have joysticks.
I'm trying to read what the values are supposed to be: full up, full down, full right, and full left. What it actually returns, because I've seen conflicting stuff, and the
It's a
CompuPro
10K
docs
line.
don't really say.
Are they switch joysticks as opposed? They're not analog, right?
They're analog.
Oh, they're analog. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it goes to the analog. So you get basically up and down. You get like whatever 0 to 127 or negative whatever the other one. You get basically a sign bit at one direction and an unsigned bit in the other direction. But they seem to do something where it's not like the full 127. It's like they only want to go up to like 64, but they just don't tell you in the documentation anywhere like what those values actually are.
You have the JS1 manual?
I do.
Oh, because I just found that, and it has a circuit diagram in it, which I thought was quite interesting.
Yeah, someone better electronics can probably figure out what it is. I did find
You know
they
what?
give.
It'll hold
Oh,
Mark,
it's just pots. It's just potentiometers.
It's a 10K pot.
It's a 10K pot. So
Well,
it's
yeah, that
just
I
going to
know.
be, it's
But
just going to be, hang on, let me look at it here.
But
Okay, it's got 18 volts on one side and minus 12 on the other. So that's 30 volts full span.
so that's not how many ticks in the computer.
Right, but that's going into the, no, but the joysticks are analog. So they're not sending ticks. They're sending an analog, a voltage basically.
yeah,
Right, but it's
Yeah.
but when it comes out of the DA+7, it turns into
Right, so that's happening in the card, not the joystick, right?
Yeah.
yeah, and
yeah,
then I did
and
find
then
they
the
they
software
give this.
translates it from there. But Mark Hofstetter has original, and I think he has the newer version of the joysticks. So he would be the guy to ask. He would be in
Okay,
first place.
I'll ask
Yeah.
him
If you
Yeah.
need
because
anybody,
they have
let me
a
know.
they have a nice ADC test program. You just put the joystick up, down, right, and left, and it tells you what the values are. Because I found the source code. They have the source code to a little paint program, and it clamps it at like 64 and says if there's a verify it's a valid voltage or something. So I don't know why they
Right.
stop at 64 instead of going to 120 or something.
So if you know the chip that's used for the A to D,
Oh, maybe.
then since we know it's between plus 18 and minus 12 volts, then we may be able to look at the chip that's used for the A to D and say, with that range and however it's configured, what would the outputs be?
Yeah, you've got also one more thing to think about, and that is a lot of these joysticks, you can move it left and right. It's a 10K pot, but it doesn't necessarily cover
That's true.
because the pots are usually 270-degree turn, right?
Oh, good point. Yes, and you're
And
only
the
probably
joystick is only moving at maximum maybe 80
Yep.
degrees, something
Good
like
point.
that. So take that
Good
into
point.
account as well.
Okay. Because I basically I program it into the simulator. So
Right.
so how to do the
And you know what?
conversion? Huh?
There's a resistor pack on there. Plus, man, I don't know. Let's see. There's a lot of components connected to
Oh,
this connector.
Yeah.
I mean, pots and like this resistor pack goes into that connector.
I
Yeah, you can
found.
probably infer what the voltage range is, from the
Take a
from the
take.
wiring, the signals and so on, but you're going to
Right.
have to actually get a joystick
Right.
and actually move it around and see what the voltage range really is.
Right, so I
Microsoft,
just found a link to a theory of operation on the joystick from the S100 computer site. I just
yeah,
posted it in chat.
the Cromemco D plus A 7A IO module has 7 input-output ports, each with a range of minus 2.56 to plus 2.54.
Oh, okay. So it's only using a small part of that voltage range in the middle of the plot.
Ah.
At least
Basically,
that's
just
what
5 volts split in half.
that's
But
what
yeah.
Copilot says.
Yeah, take a look at the thing I just posted, Patrick,
Uh-huh.
because it's a theory of operations on the S100 computer site for the
Yeah, I have
joystick.
that.
And it goes through and it talks about, yeah, since the ADC input range is plus or minus 2.55 volts, the pot output was pretty good fit, blah, 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 push
Yeah,
buttons and so on.
so it's 2.5 volts, 127, or is it 64 or
Well, that's what I'm getting to. I haven't got down to what it's doing, the signal connections.
It's 2's complement,
yeah.
LSB representing 20 millivolts.
So I'm sorry,
Okay.
what's that?
This says resolution was 20 millivolts, least significant bit, and it's 2's complement.
Okay.
5.02. That would be like 112 plus or minus divisions either side.
Okay, it says it uses an MC 1408L,
Yeah.
one of those I used to use a long time ago.
I also notice the voltage is plus 10 or minus 12 going to the pots. So it can't go any farther than that if they were to go all the way.
Oh, wait a minute. I see. Oh, I was looking at the wrong
So
line.
you
Yes.
could, you know,
Plus
looking
10 minus
at
12.
the schematic, so you can sort of infer that the joystick only moves far enough that it could
Yeah,
change
generate
the resistance just enough to be able to get that
right,
range on the A to D converter
right, the 2.5
because
volts
nothing
plus or
else
minus. Yeah.
scaling it.
Yeah. And if it's 20 millivolt resolution, 2.55 volts is 112.5 steps in each direction. So it's probably using an 8-bit value with 128 being zero. Bet you that's what it is.
Well,
Yeah.
see, that one was so weird is because I was using oh, which one was it? Oh, one of the Dazzler programs that the guy wrote. The guy that wrote Sprint.
Uh-huh.
Sprint I can't get to work at all with the joystick. But he wrote another it was like a Pac-Man, but Pacu 64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one I could get to work with the joystick, but if I went full to 127 each direction, at some point, and I had never got to where the exact number is, up it started thinking it's going down again, and right thinks it's going left.
Two's complement.
Two's complement. Yeah.
You got to use two's complement math, not just straight math.
Well, yeah, but that should be bit 7 should be high if it's negative and off if it's
Yeah,
positive.
but you got to remember, he's writing this for the Altair Duino computer emulator using D. Hansel's emulated Dazzler.
Yeah. That's why I'm looking for someone with a real D7A with a real joystick that can tell me what the real values are.
Now, that's what I say, Mark Hufstetter. He's
Okay.
he's got
Oh, that's
all the
Mark.
original stuff. He's even got a Cyclops camera.
Cool.
I'll,
So
I'll
there you
contact
go.
him.
There you go. Get the camera on your computer to be the camera of the Cyclops camera, the Cromemco.
Well, there actually is somebody wrote a program that lets you use your webcam as a
Yeah,
Cyclops on the Dazzler on your Altair or your
right.
Cromemco computer, but it's not worth the money to build the interface to do that. It's I mean the picture is just it's like 64 by 64 pixels. Actually, I don't even think it's that. I think it's 32 by 32
Oh,
pixels.
that's some high-res video there. 32 by 32.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you can see the shape of your head, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, that was reminds me of watching, what was it, the space shuttle docking with Mir streamed live using an old program called See You See Me from like back in the late
Yeah.
80s. And it was only
Yeah.
just a lot of pixels, and you could see one lump of pixels approaching another lump of pixels.
Yeah.
But it was still cool because it was live docking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
I remember that.
Yeah, if they could figure out a Cyclops conversion to do at least 128 by 128, then maybe the hardware would be worth building. But
Yeah, but if the original was 32 by 32, no software is going to use 128 by 128.
no, but you're like the Dazzler
Yeah,
simulator. The Dazzler board can do 256 by 256. So
okay.
if you can build an interface from a webcam to
Yeah.
send it to the Dazzler, that would be kind of neat. It wouldn't be a Cyclops, but would be close. A camera on the Dazzler.
Mm.
So, is anyone going to build a joystick?
Well, I just sent you the how-to, so off you go.
Yeah, looking at it, I'm just looking through that. It doesn't look that difficult.
It
No, it's pretty easy to
that's
build.
it. That's where it always starts.
There's
Yeah.
there's a guy on VCF forums selling a kit for half price, I think.
You know, I would think it'd be worth looking on like eBay or somewhere for a an old radio control box or old RC planes or something like that, and steal the joysticks out of that so they look like
Well,
Cromemco.
actually, it's cheaper to buy joysticks
Yeah.
separate than radios.
Yeah, I was just
You can
thinking
buy
about
the
yeah, if
joystick.
you could get the joystick that looked like the Cromemco, it wouldn't be that hard to build a Cromemco looking box,
Yeah.
and actually have something that looks like the old
Di-
Cromemco.
di- doesn't Todd sell a joystick for the Dazzler?
He sells the
Not the
board.
joystick, the board,
Yeah, he sells the
right?
board. Yeah.
Okay, that's I knew Todd offers that.
Oh.
Yeah, that board uses some CPLDs or PALs. I forget. No, CPLD.
The Dazzler 2 does is
Yeah.
or does the joystick board? Oh yeah, the Dazzler 2 did some different. Yeah, but I know he also had separate joystick boards. So
Yeah, it looks pretty straightforward.
So you're going to demo it for us next week, right?
Two of them. So,
That'd be great.
what games are available that use the joystick?
Oh gosh, there's a whole Dazzler games disc. There's like a airplane like a dogfight one. There's a Space War one. There's all kinds of there's a paint program. There's a bunch of them. And then gosh, Walt, who did the Sprint? I always forget his name.
John Galt.
Yeah, he did a Sprint, Paku Man. I think he has a couple others.
Okay,
Yeah, but his
But
programs.
Tony, I could send you like links to all that stuff if you want.
that's all right. I haven't got either a Dazzler or a joystick
Oh,
or the A to D converter.
But you will
Eventually.
eventually, yeah. Once the
Uh,
seeds planted, it's just a
Yeah,
matter of
once you get
time
the
for the tree
hardware, you're
grows.
going to be starving for software, and I'm going to want to use it.
Ay, ay, ay. Yeah. So if you were going to emulate the joysticks for the simulator, are you going to actually use like modern, like cheapy PC joysticks?
oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm using
Oh, Xbox controller,
one of
basically.
those guys.
Yeah, okay.
Like I said, I can get most of the games to work. I just can't get Sprint to work, and unfortunately, he doesn't put any source code online. So
Uh, oh well. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't. Not too many people have the joysticks. Only the Altair Arduino guys have joysticks because they're nice, neat little things.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I have a pair of joysticks for the Altair Arduino as well. For one of them. I have no idea where the hell they might be at the moment.
So that's your Altair Arduino joystick,
Okay.
and it's this guy is. But it
Yeah.
costs as much to build one of these as one of the ones on the S100 group. So I would recommend building those instead.
Well, I mean, they're designed to work in different places, right? So,
Well, the thing is, they're supposed to be compatible. It's just the connector is the only difference.
really interesting.
That's what someone else told me. I don't remember who it was. They said they tried both and they worked on his D Hansel Dazzler.
Oh, so there you go, Patrick. Buy a Altair Arduino joystick.
No, you want to get a real Dazzler joystick
Well, yeah.
and an Altair Arduino Dazzler.
yeah, see, I don't have a DA7 either. So
Right.
Well, you don't need the DA7 with the Altair Arduino Dazzler. You just need an Altair Arduino Pro computer.
no, I'm just saying I can't. Yeah, I just can't get real authentic values using
Right.
it.
Oh, yeah,
Emulator.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, like I
But yeah.
say, Mark Hufstetter, he's got all that. He knows every little detail about these things. I mean, if he doesn't know, nobody does.
Yeah, it should be pretty straightforward if he has all the hardware to figure out write a little assembly language program that outputs on the screen what the joystick's at and move it around.
Oh man, his collection of computers is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
He's
I've
got
still got a D+7A in the original box and still sealed up in plastic.
Cool. That's
Museum piece.
yeah.
I was thinking
Yeah.
of buying another one off of eBay just so I have one that I can use because I don't want to rip that apart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, your grandchildren will be able to sell it for $100.
Yeah, well, I mean, Patrick only needs to add about another 200 boards and nobody will ever need to buy hardware again.
Yeah.
Well, what about that 201st SIO board?
So a little bit earlier, I was looking at that joystick thing again, in case you don't find something. And it says right on the schematic for the new one that if you set it up, it'll run 2.7 volts plus or minus.
Yep.
If that will help any in figuring this thing out,
Yeah.
which is pretty close to the values that you can use with that A to D converter.
Yeah,
Well, but
that's
the
what,
thing is, the software is reading it from an analog card into the computer. So the
Right.
software is going to have a buffer zone of its own for what's zero.
well,
and
yeah.
what's
So
27.
that's the A to D converters. That the A to D converter and how it's configured is going to say, what voltage change on the joystick equals a number change when you read it. And from what Terry said, the resolution is 20 millivolts.
Yeah.
So if you look at 20 millivolts and you say, okay, it's like 2.5-ish volts, that suggests you've got 120 odd in each direction, which makes sense for a 8-bit value. Would be plus or minus 120. So
Yeah.
Might be something you could rough in, Patrick, if you were looking for rough values to start with while you're coding. So somebody gives you some other values, but
Yeah, I have,
maybe
like I said,
120 in each direction would be fine.
yeah, what got interesting to me is, oh, I know why they did that. I know why they camped it at 64. So I was looking at the paint of this draw program that
yeah,
Cromemco did source for, and they're like, if a number's more than 64 or less than minus 64, ignore it because the voltages aren't in range. And now I'm thinking, I think that program might be a 64 by 64 resolution, and they don't want to go past that. I
that
don't know
makes
if it has
sense.
anything to do with what the actual
Yeah.
That's
range of the
possible.
joystick is.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying is when you get to the software, it's just looking for a range of numbers,
Right.
like a little buffer zone
Yeah.
on each side.
So
So
you might be able to just code in, 60 plus and minus 64 and be done with it.
Yeah, see, I thought you'd be
Yeah.
able to go to 127 in one direction.
Yeah.
And but with that, one of the programs I was using, it made it go in the opposite direction when you went from like 126 to 127. And I couldn't figure
I
out
can imagine, though,
why.
there's going to be some scaling in all this,
Right.
because of accuracy with the joysticks.
So
I
maybe
don't think
try
you
it.
could ever go one
but you
into
got to
the other
remember,
with any
you got to
accuracy.
remember the joystick is only moving you 64 positions from left to right of the screen. So, that's a pretty big resolution.
Yeah,
Well, I think
so
we
plus
do.
or
I think,
minus 64 might be the ticket.
yeah, because like Tim said, you put 20 millivolts into 2.5 volt, it's more than like 120,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
So it's
maybe
probably a small
maybe they attenuated it down so it's plus or minus 64.
Well, I think I'm going to try 120, and then I'm going to find just more Dazzler software and
Right.
run against it and
Yeah,
see
I
what
mean, it'd be
happens.
pretty easy to drop that number down until it works.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think I added a when you program the sim, you can say, hey, what's your max X and Y values?
So yeah, so just going through a series of those until it works, and then that,
Yeah.
use the
Yeah.
Too
brute
small,
force
it doesn't
approach.
go from side to side, and if it's too big, it wraps around.
Yeah.
Maybe that's simple.
And you can buy a bunch of joysticks, analog joysticks for Arduinos on Amazon.
Well, you can buy the joysticks like the real Dazzler used, and they're like $10.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. No, I don't mean the little one like the Arduino used. I'm talking about a real Cromemco Dazzler joystick.
Right.
Yeah, the big one.
But then you've got to have a real Cromemco Dazzler to go with it to figure out what it does.
Well, no, you get the joystick with the 10K pots. It has
Yeah.
two 10K pots on it, and
Yep. Right, but
those are like $10.
right, but the root of the problem here is we need to understand what comes out of the A to D board, not what comes out of the
Well, yeah, I
joystick.
know, but I'm just saying is instead of buying those crappy little Arduino ones.
Yeah. And even there, we really don't care. What we care is what comes out of that A to D board so that we can put that into the simulator.
Yeah.
And because our input device is not going to be a Cromemco joystick.
Yeah, if you just make it a variable, and then you could tune it, and you could just find out. Someone will use it with a real joystick or a simulated or a aftermarket joystick or something, and figure out what they're using.
Mark Hofstetter has done demos of his Dazzler with the joysticks. He's done demos with him playing music through the joystick speaker. He's done demos with the camera, everything. He's got all that stuff, and he knows every little detail about it.
So so there's a JS1 and a JS2, right?
Well, that's the user 1 and user 2.
No, because it says in the write-up here, JS1 will draw patterns using 64 by 64 pixels. JS2 will do 128 by 128. So if 128 by 128 is the maximum resolution you can draw at, that's like plus or minus 64 relative to 0, or 0 to 128, depending upon how it's built. And if it's
the software figures that out.
Yeah. But
Patrick,
anyway,
Patrick, I have almost every Dazzler program ever written from Cromemco on my website in one of those DSK files.
Yeah, I have them all. I just have to set up the simulator to run them.
Yeah.
I just haven't gone that far yet.
I'd
sure like to try. I figure out why Sprint doesn't work, but oh well.
Well, yeah, I've tried John Galtz. He's written about 4 or 5 programs, and they sort of work sometimes. They're not very solid.
Yeah, I sure wish he'd post the source, but oh well.
Yeah, but that's why the DZM basic programs, they work solid as a rock. And so far, the couple of assembly language programs I got off of AI, they're working solid as a rock too. I don't know if I got 2 of them are in that file. It says WKP collection, Dazzler collection. I put 2 of those .com files there, and I can give you the assembly language for those. But they don't use the joystick. They use
okay.
But you can take that and tell it to add joystick control to the assembly language program.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, like I said, I'm trying to look at existing assembly language joystick programs to find out what values they're expecting. And if they actually, if it's too high, they ignore it, or do they use it, or what do they do?
Mark could probably answer that question in 1 minute.
Yeah, I got his name down. Thanks. You know what I'd like to see though, Walt? Is the assembly language program that prints a dot and you want an X and it's taking you 2 days to do that.
No, it took Claude 2 days.
It took Claude 2 days.
It said, okay, I'll do that. And then 2 days later, it says, okay, now you can continue.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, because that's a good example of what I want to be able to do with the simulator. So it'd be a good test for me to run through it.
By the way, I just asked, just Google, what's the output from the A to D card from a Cromemco joystick? Let me paste that into chat because it basically says plus 127 to minus 128, two's complement.
Yeah, and I know on the Paku 64 game, if I let it go to 127, it like changed directions. It thought it was
Right. Well,
it now it thought it was like negative, or I thought it was
right. So 127 is 0 and 7 ones.
right.
Minus 128 is 1 and all zeros, because two's complement.
Yes.
So that's why, yeah, it's flipping over.
Well, no, but so why yeah, but it should flip when the seventh bit is on. Not zero. So
Yeah.
no, so 127
Yeah.
is bit 0 through 6.
Well, no, yes,
Yeah.
right. The seventh bit is the sign, basically.
Yeah,
Most
so 127 is 0 through 6, and what's weird with his program is if I just turn bit 0 off but still had 1 through 6 on, it went the right direction. As
call
soon
it
as I
most
added the
significant bit.
what's that?
Call it most significant bit.
Yeah, as soon as
Yeah.
I
Rather than
turned the
confusing bit 0, bit 7
sure.
versus bit 8,
Yeah,
et cetera,
so
et
so with
cetera.
the least significant bit on, or with the it go I'm sorry, with the least significant bit
Far
off and the
left
most
or far
significant bit
right?
off, everything else won, it went in the right direction. As soon as I made it go from 126 to 127, it went down the other direction. And it's like, what the heck? So,
Sounds like it's expecting two's complement, but it's not getting it.
so it
Or
could have been a software problem. I don't
reverse,
know.
yeah.
That's like anyways. It'd be nice to see the source, but don't have it.
I love the way that my copy and paste seem to be cropping things off the beginning of a line recently. I've been seeing this weird thing where I copy things off web pages and it cuts off the first 4 or 5 words. I'm not quite sure what's going on. It's something, some Mac OS copy paste weirdness is all I can think about. Anyway, so it did crop a few words off the beginning of that paste. So I thought it was pretty funny. Anyway, oh, that came from the high nibble where that piece of information came from.
Look at that.
Yay!
Are yours?
Blink
Do
your
those
lights.
do the switches work yet?
No. And I don't have M1 or stack but anyways, making progress.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
running
nice.
Alt on,
Yeah.
just pulling for keyboard input.
So you're gonna hook the on-offs. Well, yeah. So stop run can be yeah, Control E and R.
Yeah, yeah. But
Single.
I don't. I mean, it doesn't do anything.
No. I get that.
What's that written in, Patrick?
This is written in C, I think.
Oh, okay.
This is the this came from the Z80 pack.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But Z80 pack, you actually build it into the simulator itself.
Oh, so you're gonna have Claude rebuild this as a board, right?
Well, yeah. So what I did is and it's on SDL2. So what I
Right.
did, I say, hey, I want a standalone program on using SDL3 because that's what the Altair Sim uses.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want it to compile into, I want a completely separate program. So it just listens on a socket now on port 8800, of course.
Okay.
And then you know how you do like use Connect on
Yep.
like a
Yep.
serial port in the simulator.
Yes.
So now you just tell the front panel board to connect to port 8800,
And it'll drive this, and then you
and
add
now
this
it
in as
just
a board.
sends it bus information.
So you add this in as a board and then tell it to connect.
Yeah, well, the front panel's always been there.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So this is just a visual representation
This
that you
is
can now
yeah,
turn
and
on.
if you don't have this program, don't want this program,
Leave that line out. Yep.
you just don't connect.
Right.
And if it goes away, the simulator keeps running, and it'll try to connect every now and then,
Yeah.
but
So I can have a front panel and a terminal. This is getting good.
you can.
Very cool.
Nice, nice.
I'm getting spoiled here. And I do, by the way, everything I do in testing, I do from straight TOML files for the machines rather than includes. because
Uh-huh.
that way I know exactly what I'm tinkering with. Yeah,
Only missing the
I never use the built-ins.
you're only missing the fan noise there, Patrick. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I'm thinking of that other online simulator the guy did. It's actually great. You hear the clicking and the fan running in the background.
If we go down that path, then we'll have
Oh,
to add
yeah.
a noise that kind of goes so that when it can simulate all the capacitors exploding.
That's what I was just going to say. Exploding tent.
Yeah.
And have smoke coming out of the top.
Little puff of smoke, you know.
And I just realized their front panel has on the other aux switch it has int and boot.
Well, isn't that a Altair Arduino thing? Isn't that Altair Arduino thing where they put extra
I
functions on the switches?
I wonder if it's a Z80 pack thing.
It might, or
Well,
well,
They
also
definitely
the IMSAI had some additional functionality on the switches, right? Over the Altair.
on the Altair Arduino, the aux switches give you a listing of your floppy and hard disk files, stuff like that.
Yeah, so we should probably peel that stuff out if we want to be pure.
Yeah, I'll have to fix that.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
if you want to use the thing as like a Sol 20 computer, you need those aux switches.
Oh, so we need more than one front panel because we need a B front panel. We need a 680 front panel.
No, I'm not going there. Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, I want to port that front panel over to this
Heck yeah.
that I showed
Oh,
a
there
few
you
weeks
are.
ago.
We need to do that.
That
You didn't
actually,
get one of those real long ones I showed you?
actually, that wouldn't be too hard once the simulator front panel was going because you just display that window on an external display. You ever require no coding at all. Once the display for the front panel exists, you could just drag it and drop it onto the external display.
Terry, you didn't
Seems
buy
like
that
it.
real long one?
What?
You didn't buy that real long 14-inch one?
No,
Display?
no. I bought this one was. I don't remember the 14-inch. How much it cost.
It was like $156, I think.
Okay, this one was 65 when I bought it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was hoping to find something like a 14-inch. But I would love to start with the 10-inch because I think I could put a whole front panel on a 10-inch display and use your fingers to.
Oh, touch.
Yeah, exactly. Touch.
Uh-huh.
That's going to be pretty close for switches, touch switches.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't get 10 of my fingers across the 10-inch display.
We're not trying to do all 10 at once, so.
Well, you should be able to. Let's see, 10-inch display, and the most you're going to have in line is 24 switches for the 24 address lines.
No,
So-
16 address lines.
Well, it depends. No,
24.
S100 you could have 24. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to build. I don't want to do this for. You can always make an option for 16, but I would want to do 24 lines.